Welcome back to Leaders Live. I'm Charlie Stevens, your host. We had a great episode last week with Aidan Kehoe, CEO and co-founder of Scout Secure Intelligence. Key takeaways from that episode: importance of customer service. If you serve the customers right in front of you and do a good job, they're going to introduce you to a lot of great people. And even if they don't, it's a great way to live. Today we're on Green Street, going up to 50 Green Street. We are between Broome and Grand. And we're going to go talk to Al DiGuido, the President and Chief Revenue Officer of North 6th Agency. Let's go. What do you do when you have a rapidly growing company, a strong innovative culture, and you want to keep evolving? You hire this guy. Al DiGuido, President and CRO of North 6th Agency. We'll be talking with him about a lot of great things in a little bit, but we're going to start the clock, and Adele's going to kick the clock, and we're going to have a little music go, get some people load up.
Super.
Yes.
Looking forward to
Happy
it.
you're on here.
Great to be here.
Yeah, so live mic, by the way, but a little music's playing in the background. And we got a minute 30. All right, that's what we got.
Cool. Yeah, very cool. The sun is out.
I love it down here. It's so much. I'd much rather be down here than Midtown. Working it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You walk outside and everything's so much.
The world is on fire down here. It's really
Everybody's
crazy.
Happier. Not wearing ties.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a cool spot. You got Tribeca, you got Soho, you got Broadway. It's all good stuff.
Yeah. And transportation's great too.
Yep. The subway actually works down here.
Yes. I mean, I'm Rock Center, so it's not bad. You get a lot of good transportation, but still, Christmas time, Rock Center's not the best.
No.
But you got the high ceilings, tin ceilings too. Very cool.
Yeah, you wonder how old these tin ceilings are. They're pretty old.
I think they try to refurbish them as best as they can. But
Yeah.
So my buddy Ikram, who is the founder of Venmo, started this company called Ends, which is like an audio Twitter of sorts, and he's also a musician, so we use his music in the beginning, roll that in, and then we use that.
Do you have a voiceover or something going on with the music, or?
No, it's just music playing.
Yeah.
You see right there. All right, we're back. Welcome back to Leaders Live. I'm Charlie Stevens, your host, here with Al DiGuido.
Hey, Charlie.
How are you?
Good.
Before we get into everything, just a little background why we do this, right? Why do you do this? You're a real estate guy. You help companies grow into new office spaces, move office spaces, renew, whatever it may be. Some of the best spaces, pretty good at it. But the reason is because relationships matter. And I'm trying to grow my network and build my relationships with people like Al to understand how he operates. He's an industry leader. Once I understand how Al operates, we could connect him with like-minded business professionals. And then I could help you grow with introductions or whatever it may be. And it's a natural thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. It's innovative. In a world where you have to be innovative or you're going to die.
Yeah.
You've done a tremendous job here. This is great. I'm really honored to be here.
I appreciate it. So that's nice things about you. You said about me. Now I get to say some nice things about you, right? So Al is a legend in the industry. CEO of Bigfoot Interactive. He grew the company and sold it to Epsilon and became CEO. Grew that company. Dominated the email providing industry.
Yep.
Then you actually sat through an acquisition, or you were part of an acquisition of DoubleClick, so you brought them on.
Yep.
A lot of different processes there. Became CEO of Zeta Interactive later on. You're the founder of Al's Angels, which is very important. We should get to that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, helping beat. It's a charity essentially, right? Helping children get over
cancer, rare blood diseases,
financial hardships, and illnesses, and all that good stuff. But now we are here. You are the President and Chief Revenue Officer of North 6th Agency, which is just getting all these accolades and growing like crazy. It's a very exciting time.
Very exciting.
Yeah, very exciting time.
So you know where it all started, right?
Well, that's what we're going to get into, right? Where did it all start? I think it started in Delhi, right?
I'm a guy from Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
And my father was a New York City cop. So when I was 13 years old, I said, you know what? I gotta go work, because if I want to go to college, back in those days, you couldn't get the kind of grants and aids and things that you were getting. He said, well, you have to go to work. And there was this deli in Brooklyn, a block away from where I live, called De Palma Brothers. It literally was the De Palma Brothers. So I used to pester this guy for a job for the longest time. And he finally said, on my birthday, June 27, 1969, I walked in after I had gotten my working papers that morning. I said, Louis, I'm here to work. He goes, it's your birthday. I said, I'm here to work. So I got an apron, put the apron on. He said, I'm going to teach you something from day one that's going to change your life. And when he said that, I mean, this is a guy that had a high school, education. He said, I'm going to teach you something. I said, well, get the apron on. And when people come into the store, this is old-time delis, he said, what do you think you say to them? I said, well, you say hello. He says, yeah, but beyond hello, I don't know. I've never worked in a deli. He said, well, the words you say are, how can I help you? And I said, what do you do then? He said, then you just shut up and you listen. You can listen, right? I went, yeah. He said, because if you ask people how you can help them, 9 times or 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to tell you how you can help them. And when they tell you how you can help them, you go and get all the products and stuff that you need, and then you present it to them, and you say, is there anything else we can help you with? So throughout my entire career, throughout my entire life, those words spoken by Louis De Palma have been kind of the hallmark of what I've done. In speaking to marketers of all sizes and building businesses, it's all about how you can help someone. What is your objective? What is your goal? What are you trying to get done? If you listen, they're going to tell you.
Right.
If you assume that you know, you're probably not going to be on the right path.
Right.
But when you listen, when you talk to people and say, how can I help you? They'll tell you. And then from that point on, it's all about crafting a business, crafting a solution that answers the need. I do a lot of talking to college groups and different professional groups in my career. I always say need, solution. The closer those two things are together, the more successful you're going to be. Whether you're selling print advertising like I've done in my life,
right,
billboard advertising like I've done in my life, whatever media platform, digital, public relations, whatever it is, if you understand the need and can provide your product as the solution, you're going to get there.
Right, right. And you've gone through the evolution of print, digital, emails, and all this stuff. I mean, and you grew throughout this process too. I mean, is there anything that stands out to you, growth-wise, tips that you could kind of that stick with you today that maybe you could give the listeners, the viewers?
I think, Charlie, that it is always looking at the coming platform. You talked about it. Like I sold print magazine. I was a publisher of Computer Shopper, which set a Guinness Book record for the number of ad pages and folio. Every month we did folios of the number of pages in a magazine. It was a huge phone book every month, 1,100, 1,200 pages an issue.
Yeah.
That business did about $140 million top line revenue in 1995 and about $70 million in EBITDA for those of you who are finance majors.
Right. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Today it's gone. Today it's gone.
Yeah.
Back then it was a solution for people that wanted to sell computer products like Michael Dell, like Ted Wade at Gateway, like Larry Ellison, like all the big computer people. Mm-hmm. This was the magazine. This was the way you sold product with people that were shopping for products. Right. Then this little thing came along called the internet.
I've heard of it.
You just passing fancy. I remember sitting in a room with someone that said, when we built computershopper.com, which was the internet version of the Computer Shopper magazine. He said, Al, listen, the print publication is doing unbelievably well. You want to start this comparison shopping engine on the web? What are you kidding? The moment this very top tier guy, leader in the industry, today is a head of an investment group, said to me, the moment that the digital business, the internet business, impacts on the print, we're shutting the digital down. And I looked at him, right, you're never going to shut the digital down. That's just never going to happen. Yeah. And it never did. The magazine went away, and the digital business still survives today. So it really is, the tip is you've always if you're looking and you're always looking through the lens of what the customer needs, what the customer is going to want,
Right.
the objective the customer is trying to get to, the pressure that the customer has from an ROI standpoint. Today, more than ever, the CFOs of companies walk into marketing directors or owners and say, you spent what on how much on what? And you tell them, they go, okay, so what's the next logical question? What did we get for all of that, right? So today, anticipating the need of the customer, making sure that your solution is in alignment with that need always.
Right.
So we took a magazine to online, to social, to digital formats, because we knew the marketer, the customer was moving away from legacy into digital.
Yeah.
And if you held on to the legacy, you're out of business. So it's always anticipating the need and being a student, and I do mean a student, of media consumption patterns, of the profile of people, what they're looking at. I mean, look at what we're doing here today.
Yeah. We're live.
Right, we're live.
Look at us.
5 years ago, not happening, right? But today, this is a way in which we're all communicating to people out there in the marketplace because they want to get their data. They want to get their information in a new and exciting way.
Right.
So if you're in denial about change, you're not going to make it. You probably are not making it.
Right. Get with the times, essentially, right?
Well, I mean, get ahead of the times.
Get ahead of the times.
And that's if you want to lead. If you want to lead in the marketplace, you've got to become incredibly sharp about anticipating where the need is going.
Right.
And I've been blessed because no one ever does anything successful by themselves. Don't kid yourself. You have a team of people around you who are your eyes and ears, and they listen and they watch and they give you information about where things are moving. And then it's up to you as a leader or leaders to say, okay, how do we leverage this shift in the marketplace and position our product in the most engaging way? It's the work that we're doing here at North 6.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. I mean, you have a strong team here. The culture is award-winning. It's growing. It's all positive here.
So think about this in the media and marketing toolkit. And a lot of the people that are watching and listening here, PR has always had this, been a kind of an appendage to the marketing mix that's out there, right? It's nice to have PR. Yeah. It's nice to have press. It's nice to have your name in the papers or online and do a podcast. That's all nice stuff. Yep. But the world has gotten to the point today, especially with the rise of the social media influencer and the way in which people are accessing information, that PR is an essential piece of the marketing mix. It used to be like a nice to have, but now it's an essential piece. And as an essential piece impacting the marketplace, it has to be viewed in the same way that display media is now and social media is now. There's analytics, there's metrics. How do we measure the overall effectiveness? And that measurement of effectiveness is really tied to business outcomes. It's like we're going to spend money, we're going to spend time to reach an audience of people who could potentially buy our product or pass that information on to other people who buy a product. How do we do it in the most cost-efficient and effective way, leveraging this toolkit? Yeah. Well, as buyers and decision makers and owners and marketing directors spend more and more time gathering information in the social media world and online, the role of leveraging thought leaders and opinion makers and decision makers through the public relation lens becomes more and more important. Before it was, we'll just add it as coding. Now it becomes an essential piece. The big difference is that we as a PR agency here understand that now, and we are tying the work that we do from an analytics standpoint on the back end to say, hey, you know what, you've got a company, you're trying to reach these decision makers, here's your product, here's your value proposition, here's your unique selling proposition. We're going to go out with the right group of assets and get that audience, engage that audience. We're not just going to reach them, we're going to engage with them. And then we're going to monitor the effectiveness of the content that we have provided in terms of its level of engagement, and ultimately, after you've engaged with the content, what have you done? Have you literally helped fuel that business outcome for that client? That's something that there's probably people from the PR world sitting in and listening on this, right? They probably shudder when they think of that. But all media today must be accountable to the bottom line and to helping drive business outcomes. Because if you're not doing that, you're going to still have this appendage on the outside that people go, well, I don't have a lot of budget. So let me put my budget towards things that I can track directly to the result of a business outcome. If you're not doing that,
Yeah.
then you're not going to be relevant in terms of that mix.
Right, right. And finding, I mean, communicating with the client too and understanding their needs. We talked about
Always.
that. Yeah, I mean, the growth strategy is a positive, a huge plus of what, I think why possibly they brought you in here too.
Yep.
But the kind of differentiator, what you're doing here and the growth strategy that you guys have aligned with maybe the service lines, what's the future of North 6 agency? Where are you going?
North 6 has always had, and something, 10 years ago, I was one of North 6's first customers. So I saw it firsthand when I was at Bigfoot Interactive. We were a small email service provider. And Matt came in and he said, we can actually help you achieve your goal. I said, well, my goal is to be the dominant player in the email communication space. He said, we can get you there. I said, well, you're a hardworking guy. You got a hardworking organization, which, by the way, that's one of the things that's a real caveat of this organization. And I'm going to just speak from my own experience.
Sure.
There are people that phone it in, and you know what I mean by phone it in.
Yep.
There are people that phone in and make big, grandiose promises. Then there are people that roll up their sleeves, put their heads down, and go for the gusto and go to help achieve the solution that the client wants and needs in order for them to be viable. That was the case back in the days of Bigfoot Interactive. I was a small company, wanted to be perceived as one of the top tier players. That was my goal. That was the business outcome I wanted. Yeah. Matt and the team rolled up their sleeves, and what was done was we went from being a small player to the dominant player. Right? We saw the power of having the right message, the right product, engaging with the right group of customers, that all of a sudden we started getting phone calls from people going, hey, you guys got to come in. Right? And that was strictly done on the backs of the legacy PR and the PR strategies that North 6 provided for me. So I've been a flag-waving evangelist about this company for many years because of the fact that they do the work, they have that focus, they're accountable for what they do. Well, you don't hear from these guys, well, we gave it our best shot and it didn't work all that well, but you're going to give us A for effort. In business, you cannot give A for effort. In business, you have to work with partners that understand your need, understand how important that need is to the viability of your business going forward, and are a member of your team and drive it to that goal. Then everybody celebrates.
Right.
If you're gonna phone it in and kind of say, well, we gave it our best shot, or people are off today, I'm sorry. These guys, Matt and his team, understood how critically important it was for us to take that move, and they put tremendous amount of elbow grease and a lot of work. They basically outworked the other players, because I had a board there. It was a pretty heavyweight board. And they're going, you're putting the future of our company in the hands of this little agency in New York. Why aren't we buying into one of these big PR shops? I said, because these guys will outwork any team that you will show.
Yeah.
And they did. And that's kind of like with Matt and the team here, why I'm here now after, I've done a lot of things in my career. I'm here now because it is that kind of a culture. It's fun, it's growing, it's exciting, but they're hardworking people.
Yeah.
They really take care of these clients to the point of helping them drive business outcomes.
Well, we're going to get into the building network and collaborations. We're going to get back to Matt and how you connected with him, but you touched on culture as well. And they're the most innovative culture and continue to get awards for that too. You've been here for a while now. Like, why is that? What are they doing differently to build this culture around them?
Yeah, I think that work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
I think Matt has got the right combination of treating people incredibly well. Frankly, much better than back in the old days we treated our employees, to be honest with you. But today's employee, today's team member wants to have a loyalty and an affinity to a team that has different parameters. Matt fills though. Yeah. He's got elements of his culture that are reward systems, pace points, all kinds of great programs that incent people, members of his team, to do their best work. So when you provide a culture that's geared towards treating people professionally, giving them an opportunity to grow their incomes and achieve their goals and objectives, right. An environment like this, which is incredibly intense and hardworking, but at the same time can step back and be enjoyable and it can be fun. We've both been in situations where we see it's been skewed to one side of that equation or not, right? Yeah. There's places that you walk in that are playgrounds. This is far from a playground. This is an organization and a culture that rewards best work, right? And when they reward it, they have fun doing it, which is great. So it's their business outcome, North Six business outcome. There's top line goals and there's bottom line goals. When we're hitting our bottom line goals and top line goals, everything's really, really great. When we're not, we suck it up and get done what we have to get done to get back on the right side of that equation. Yeah. So it's an amazing culture and implementation of a culture that I've ever seen.
It's good vibes in here. I like it. I like you guys. I like all of you. We're live in the office too. I don't know if you guys know that, live on LinkedIn. But if you are live on LinkedIn watching, please start submitting some questions to Al that we'll take in the Q&A portion in just a few minutes. But going back to building network and collaborations, we talked about Matt Rosetta, the CEO. I think there's a good story of how you possibly connected with him, but I want to understand more of how you're networking, how you're building partnerships, collaborations, relationships.
Yep, it's a funny thing. You know, in the advertising marketing business for as long as I've been, which is like, I cringe when I hear it, but I mean, it's kind of like 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
When you do the right thing for people, when you help them solve the business problem they're having, they want to stay close to you, right? They want to do nice things for you. They want to share that experience with other people. So most of my network, most of Matt's networking comes from the fact that we've worked with people that have had serious problems, whether it's crises or marketing strategy problems or business outcome strategy problems, and solve those problems. It's like when you go to a doctor and a doctor cures you, you're going to be close to that doctor because he cured you. So in a real sense, my relationships have been built up over the years in the fact that people that I've come across in business who I've dealt with, who I've provided solutions to, never forget that.
Yeah.
Right? And they become the people that refer me to other businesses and ask for advice from other businesses. So building trust and building a reputation for being somebody who's no nonsense, no BS, focused on doing the best job they can do for the company and actually getting it done is a key part of the whole networking. So getting out there and being in groups, being introduced by others to different people who share the same problem. Because there's very few unique problems. Everybody's having the same problem, right? They're trying to, in a highly competitive marketplace, they're trying to drive top line revenue, drive bottom line EBITDA, and the only thing that's getting in the way of them is their competition, right? Or their lack of focus on how to get that done.
Right.
If Al DiGuido walks in there, whether it was a computer industry or a PR industry or whatever, and I can provide you with a compelling case for how you get this done, backed up by solutions and other companies that have actually adopted it, then you're going to get it close to me, and we're going to build a relationship. The relationship here is never we're a vendor and you're a customer. It's really we're partnering with those. I know that's trite. People hear that all the time, but here it's true. And in my career, over all these years, that has been incredibly true because I don't like taking people's money and not solving the problem. Right, that doesn't do good things for your reputation.
I mean, building the relationship is obviously very important, but getting to that stage to even get the door open, is it referrals? Or I mean, how can you even expand that network and get more? Yeah,
it's referrals. It's referrals, and it's building your presence in venues where the market congregates. Right. So if you know online and in social and other places, this is where the high concentration of CMOs are, or agency people are. Yeah. The fact that you put your message there and showcase your message there, what we're doing here today, right?
Right.
Showcasing a message in front of people who are receptive for hearing that message. We're constantly on the prowl for those type of venues. And the referrals and the testimonials and the 60 accounts that we have and the track record, all that stuff will get you the first call, but heaven help you. If you get that first call and you go in there and you aren't hyper focused on not about me, but about you as a customer and how I can help you, because you all have, everybody has time for somebody for 15 minutes to say, hey, you know what, here's my problem, here's my issue, here's what I'm trying to do, here's what I've done in the past, can you help me? And we go, yeah, we can help you. We don't waste their time, we get to it, they're going to remember that. Right. So it's really that kind of thing.
Okay. I like that. And you just picked up a few big clients. I was sitting in on a team meeting, so you guys are growing and doing a pretty good job of that. Future partnerships that you're possibly looking for, that somebody on LinkedIn can reach out to you?
I think the partnerships we're looking for is anyone today. You know, this world, the media consumption patterns today are changing in real time. So if you've been doing things from a marketing perspective to drive your business outcome in a legacy way, and legacy could be yesterday, okay? So if you're doing things in a legacy way and you're in a highly competitive marketplace and you're looking for an organization or a team or an approach that is incredibly unique, okay, in terms of the way it approaches that problem, we're the place. You're going to go, there's traditional digital agencies, there are legacy agencies, there's agency holding companies, they talk all about technologies and platforms. When you have a conversation with us, our focus is what's the most cost-efficient, effective way we can leverage this platform called public relations that everybody has underestimated, that is now coming into vogue. Here, think about the days when recently, display media, oh my God, I got to send out 10 million impressions. All this stuff is hitting the wall. What's happening? It's coming back around that the accountability level meter on that was, oh my God, a lot of this stuff is not really reaching, you know, decision makers. It's just like we're just throwing it against the wall. So if you're a marketer out right now in a competitive arena and you're trying to figure out a unique way to get to the audience, engage the audience, and move them down the transaction funnel, whatever that funnel is, you need an innovative way to do this. This is, we're seeing an entire industry transform. That's why I love being in this, Charlie. I've been doing this for a lot of years. I love this time because there's going to be leaders out there that are going to stay where they were. I mean, the stories of Amazon. No one saw Amazon coming. All of a sudden, this is like a revelation. We were talking about this 15 years ago. There are people that, no, it's going to be same thing with this. You have to be a student of the market. You have to be a student that embraces real-time change, and you've got to constantly be looking at your marketing strategy and how well you're doing from a competitive standpoint with an eye towards leveraging new thinking. So if you're out there and you're beating your head against the wall and don't understand why you're not moving the needle from a competitive standpoint, let us come in, let us do our diligence and our analysis on what's going on, and we can show you how to leverage the PR world, the PR assets, credibility assets, to drive it. With
real-time thinking. I like that. I like that. We're going to go to Mike McIntosh, who's helping us out with the Q&A. He's got a mic. We're going to trust him with that mic. Fire away. What do we got?
Hey, guys. So we got a few questions in here.
That's good.
Our first question's from Salvador, financial executive in North Carolina. As CRO, how is the day split up with departments in the firm, and what's the most crucial task to maximize revenue?
Okay, so you have to understand that although I have the title of CRO, your entire organization is one that's focused on a couple of things, right? It's focused on driving top-line revenue, protecting your base of customers, meaning you don't want to lose any customers, and retaining those customers. So when you walk in the door of an organization like North 6, when you walk into a financial organization, if you're out there looking for clients, it's all about what are we doing from a marketing standpoint to get out there and bring in more clients, because more clients means more revenue for you, means greater growth for the company. So how's my day spent? The underlying DNA of this, myself and others in this organization, constantly thinking about ways in which we can position our offering in front of people that need it. And the good news, I always think that the good news for your caller is that there's a lot of opportunity in the marketplace. In change, everybody needs some new strategy, some new opportunity. So if you're not thinking about growing revenue, if you're not thinking about retaining that revenue once you get it with high quality services and attention to detail and living up to your brand promise, those are the two things that are kind of the key elements of this. You've got a finance team, you've got everybody else kind of thinking about this, thinking about different aspects of this. But my day as a CRO, president of the company, is always figuring out what can we do better in order to position our products and services against all the companies out there that have needs, always. And then the doors open up, and then the real important part is when you go in there, are you listening to what they need, and are you bringing the right solution against that need?
understanding the problem and fixing it. And I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're a finance company.
Yeah, yeah.
You've probably got a suite of products. Those are solutions to someone's need. Are you cultivating that need? Are you cultivating people who have that need? And that's got to be job number one. I mean, you got to have the right products and the right services and all those things. That's a given. That's table stakes. But from a CRO standpoint, from a COO standpoint, CEO standpoint, that's what you're focused on. If you're not focused on that, and you're sitting back going, hey, we reached this level, we hit our quota, things are good, I'm going to kick back. Somebody else, I live for those kind of situations from a competitive standpoint, because we're going to out-hustle anybody else that's sitting back on their chair thinking they've made it. We're going to out-hustle and outwork them. We've always done that in everything we've done, in all the businesses I've been involved in. The sales organization, the operations organization, the account management organization is just plain going to outwork the competition, because the competition is phoning it in. And you can't phone it in 2019.
That's right. That's right. Mike, what else we got? Good question, Sal. Appreciate it.
All right. We've got a question from Leighton, PR professional in New York City. Question for Al here. What has been your biggest business failure, and what did you learn from it?
Good question. Solid question.
Really good question, Leighton. Thank you for that one. I think I fail. I can't put it. It's not a scale of biggest to least big. Any failure to me is a failure. I take them all the same way. So I think the failure is I try a lot of things. I anticipate a need, and then I come back and I come up with some kind of a product or solution. Back in the days of Flipbook, remember the Flipbook, digital magazines and stuff like that? Well, I was at Epsilon, and we were trying to build one of those on our own, and we were spending time and money and resources in doing that, and in about like 5 minutes, somebody else came out with something that just kind of like said, well, there's no need for us to have that. So, but you got to keep trying, you got to keep pushing. So failure is part of success as far as I'm concerned. If you haven't tripped and fallen, you get up off the ground and you're hurting, but at least you learn something. And there are a lot of people that want to be vanilla in life. They want to sit on the sidelines and say, well, this is too, I don't want to go to the deep end of the pool. I don't want to try this. I don't want to try that. And they never have the experience of having achieved something that was great. And there's a lot of things that I look back in terms of decisions that I've made and teams that I've built and organizations that I've led that I look back and go, wow, we just, everybody else was playing vanilla and we tried to do something, a lot more innovative. And as a result of that, we won the prize. Everybody underestimates, and I think what's happening here also in North 6, is the best days of North 6 are yet to come. If people underestimate this company at 50 Green Street, kind of as this like sleepy little company here that's growing big and getting awards, as this is our best day, stay tuned. And our best day here is going to be an incredible day for the customers that we have. Because we're thinking about their business every day. We're creating packages and solutions and ways of doing business that's only going to benefit them. So if you're going to fail going in the right direction.
You're on notice. It's coming. It's coming. I like that. And shooter's going to shoot. You got to take your shot. I like that.
You got to take the shot.
Got to take the shot. We got one more. We'll take one more question.
All right, let's do one more.
Yeah.
This is a question from Devani Jackson,
Okay.
commercial real estate professional from Austin, Texas.
She comes in on the show quite a bit and comments.
We like Austin,
it.
Texas.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
County Line Barbecue.
Absolutely.
All right, we got another question
I've
for
been
Al
there.
here.
I've been there.
Yes.
A number of times.
So Al, what's the first thing that Matt's team did for you when you knew this was going to be a game changer? What did North 6 do differently than other firms?
I want to tell you something. I knew this was a game changer 10 years ago when Matt Rosetta walked into my office and said, you know what? I think I can do this better. I think I can serve you better. I think I can actually help you get to the goal that you want. I knew it 10 years ago. And I trusted him. And he backed it up with actually not only doing it for me, but doing it for other companies that over the years has had it done. So I don't put a lot of faith in people. I put faith in God, but I don't put a lot of faith in people. I'm a prove-it kind of person. And what he did that was a game changer for me is he understood that from day one. That in order to have my business and earn my business and have me refer this business, he had to prove that what he was saying was actually going to happen. And he did, time and time again. And that's the DNA of this. That's what the reason I'm here, and I commute from Westport, Connecticut to come down here. The reason I'm here is this is a no BS, hardworking, focused on the customer organization. You can't find a lot of these companies out there. They'll talk to you about technology, they'll talk to you about service levels, but I never thought that a unique selling proposition of a company would still, after all these years, be the quality of the service they provide to their customer. That's here. And that's a big differential between us and other players out there. And you're a marketer out there, you're listening, you're watching. That's the difference. How many times have you been in a situation where your agency partner, supposedly partner, came up or did not come up to stuff in terms of what they were supposed to deliver? This organization delivers. And Matt from the top down is obsessed with that. And that's a big difference, a game changer in terms of selecting a partner for this type of work.
I like that. I like this enthusiasm we got going on here.
It's, if you're not going to be enthusiastic, man, what the hell is it all about?
Yeah, exactly. You talk about the unique sales product too, or
selling proposition.
yeah, there's a story I remember you spoke about, the Tootsie Roll story.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
If you want to share it, otherwise we could go into your words to live by. But I remember
Tootsie Roll. When you think about Al DiGuido, next to Al DiGuido, there's a picture of a Tootsie Roll. The Tootsie Roll story is Louis DePalma, the guy I was telling you about. He said, "Hey, listen, when you wait on somebody, you ask them what they want, and you get all the products, and you put it all in the you put it on the counter, and then you have these paper bags. Remember when there were no? I remember when there were no calculators, no adding machines, none of that. You had to actually use this machine called the brain, and people around here have seen it, but most of the people I know always know that I always have a pencil or something stuck in my ear from back in the deli days. So you take all the prices off all the products, you write them on the bag, you add them all up literally in front of the customer, and then you hand the bag back to the customer and have them check the math. This is no joke. And he said, Louis said, hey, you know what you're going to do after that? That we have this big barrel of these Tootsie Rolls that are sitting over here. For every bag of groceries, I want you to reach in, take a handful of Tootsie Rolls and throw it in the bag. And I said, Louis, how much do I charge for the Tootsie Rolls? He said, no, you don't charge anything for that. I said, well, he goes, he just called me Skippy. Why? Only God knows. But he said, Skippy, I want you to go to Bohack and A&P and Rollbaum's, and here I want you to get all these products, and I want you to come back. Separate bags. All right, no problem, come back. I come back, you're 13, 14 years old, you're a kid, you listen to people, right? So I come back and I dump all the stuff onto the counter. He says, where's the Tootsie Rolls? I said, you didn't tell me to get Tootsie Rolls. He said, but where are they? I said, Louis, they don't put Tootsie Rolls in their bags. He said, that's why we do. Because when Mrs. DiGuido takes the bag home and dumps it on the counter, and 7 kids in the family are all fighting over the Tootsie Rolls. Why? She's going to go back to Louis DePalma and she's going to go back to that store. He didn't know, Spam to Louis was a can of Hormel stuff. Louis didn't know anything about marketing. He just knew about Tootsie Rolls. So I always say, we're all looking for the Tootsie Roll, right? My brother owns, in Williamsburg, owns a bunch of dog and cat food stores. I told him that story. You know what he started doing? He started handing out dog bones. You know what the result of that was? Dogs that were on the other side of the street walking by the store were pulling their owners into his store. We're all looking for the unique selling proposition. What separates us from the competitive set? Whether you're Nike, Adidas, or Coke, the challenge is, in a competitive arena, how do I separate North 6 Agency from the other PR firms that are out there in the marketplace? We're telling you that it's our work ethic, our commitment to helping drive marketers' business outcome with no excuses. That's a big differential. We're not here to just puff up or push out information. We're here to take that information, take that legacy on knowledge that we have on what we should leverage to get the job done and get the job done for you. That's the unique selling proposition. And that's something that will separate us and continue to separate us. That's what separated Matt Rosetta back in the days 10 years ago when I was getting started. I said, I need somebody who can help me move the needle here for this business. And he did, and we are.
Let's leave off like this. We got a couple of things to wrap up, right? Words to live by, your personal mantra, ethos, and then a question for the community so they can engage and you could get some feedback from the viewers.
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about the Los Angeles stuff. I think that people need to be we can get very self-absorbed about our stuff and our world and everything else. I think in order for you to be effective, you have to put your head, your mind, your soul in the hearts and minds of other people. You have to be effective in terms of a business person, you have to really spend time in the mind of the buyer, in terms of the solution provider, to understand what their pain points are, what their needs are. Everybody kind of says they do, but are they really committed to that? So I think the words to live by is, you know, it's okay to take care of yourself and your family, that's job one. But you got to spend some time in the minds and hearts and needs and worries and concerns of the customer, of someone else. You know, 25 years ago, I walked into a building because I'm a New York Giants fan. You can all applaud later, and I thought I was going to meet, you know, Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms and all those people, and I was in a situation where I didn't know it. I just thought I was going to see some Giants, and women got up and started to talk on a dais, saying how their children were dying of cancer and how they'd been wiped out financially. And I looked at my buddy Pete and I said, "What's going on here?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "Well, how is it possible that women that have got children dying of cancer are begging strangers for money for food and for clothing? How is that possible in the United States of America?" He said, "I don't know." On the way home that night, I was haunted, and I'm haunted to this day, 25 years later, by that. What if it were you? And Charlie's got 3 beautiful kids. I've got 3 kids, 7 grandchildren. What if it was us? What would we do? So I put my mind in the heart and soul of the needs of those people, and we created a nonprofit organization called Al's Angels. You can find it at alsangels.org, that helps children and families battling cancer and rare blood diseases with holiday meals and gifts. Last year we did over 3,200 meals. That's 120,000 people, over 15,000 children. There's not one full-time paid person in this organization. We have 7,000 people started out of a garage. Started by thinking outside of self to the minds and hearts and souls and concerns of other people. That's, if you want to be successful in business today, if you must put your heart and mind and soul and your solutions in the heads of your customer to understand their world. Because you just can't come in and go, "By the way, this is a really good product. Why don't you buy this product? It's really cool. It's got all the bells and whistles and everything else." Yeah, but it doesn't solve anything for me. You start with, what do I need to solve? What is the problem I need to solve? What's the challenge that you're meeting? And how can we help you? That's the mantra here at N6A. We want to understand the problem. We want to understand the outcome. We want to understand all of that. So not that we can just whip stuff on you, but we can tailor the right solution for you that will get the job done. And we're not going to walk away. We're going to stand there and make sure that we do everything possible to get that job done and optimize it all the time, because things are happening in real time. But that's my mantra. Think outside of the box. Think outside of self. Put your mind in the mind of the buyer. Can I sell you this? Because you have this need. How can I help you? Started in the deli. It's very, very evident still today.
Beautiful. Doing a great job with Al's Angels too. It's
Thank you very much.
It's great. So definitely check that out. Most importantly, if you take anything away, go to alsangels.org. Question for the community. Anyone watching hopefully can engage, tag Al with the answer to this question, then we'll wrap it up.
What's your biggest need today when you think about marketing your product or service?
Okay. That's it.
We'll take every question or every comment that you have on that one.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm fired up. I'm ready to run through this brick wall right here.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I appreciate everybody's time, everybody here too, and we'll wrap it up.
Thank you very much.
Nadal, hit the music. All right, that's the first round of applause. We got like 20 seconds.